Larry, there's just something that feels right about a snowy day for football in Wisconsin, and that's what we have here on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Atkins now on first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Malik Collins. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Oh, they're holding their breath right now. That's Aaron Rodgers shaking up on the play. Still down. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Throwing on first down. Atkins. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Andrew Billings forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking left sideline, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanted to continue to go to the guy who's already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right.
Dashing through the snow. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd down, 8. To throw is Rodgers. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then it curls back inside for the completion.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And with that sack partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. On 4th down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there.
Here we go. Green, 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56.
Here's Atkins. From the gun, he'll throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm.
Here we go now.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Let's go.
Now Atkins On 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him. Continue.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So this is they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here we go.
Atkins to throw. Throwing on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 71 yards. A reminder coming up at halftime while the 2 of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Send me to Orlando, please.
Don't be so soft. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And that is out of the backfield. back of the end zone, incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from first and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the he's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Oh, a design run for their wideout. And some space here. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And he comes back with 1 complete. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The offense is going to stay out there. They've converted twice, failed once so far on 4th down. Let's see what's in store here. Atkins operating from the gun. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 30, 20, 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the 1st half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So we hit halftime with our bit. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with.
And now off to the races down the right side. Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 70 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Now Myers for the extra point. And Can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now they were going draw play there. The defense wasn't fooled. They sniffed it out.
I think they're going to have to go back and take a few more acting classes, because that's what a lot of that is. You've got to influence them to think that it's going to be a pass play and have them drop out and maybe the defensive front coming forward and find yourself some space. In this case, no one was fooled and ended up spilling that play pretty well. Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. There he goes left side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
319!
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter able to disrupt yet another pass play, his third sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he's loose again. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Elsewhere, a third-quarter score from NRG Stadium in Houston. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The extra point now coming from Myers. And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Finding some room at midfield. He's got daylight, the 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys are able to get a score back. Checking the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Franks to add the PAT. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Bust through the tackle. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Well, now they'll try the end around. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 73 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And oh, he coughed it up. And this belongs to the Vikings. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Come on, let's go. 3-19.
Atkins now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charlie, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Here's Myers now to kick it away. To return it, here's Tavon Young. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down right around the 26. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. On 3rd down, Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Throwing to start the drive. Atkins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dewan Smoot in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been
He's got his man it's taken in for a Viking touchdown. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The Packers on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And again, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, and it'll lead to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Going to throw right side here, complete. The 30, 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And they better put that ball to the side, because with that catch, he's a new single-season receiving yards record holder.
What a fantastic year. And we saw it start early, didn't we, partner? Right out of the gate. We knew he was going to have a tremendous year, but who knew it would culminate in breaking this all-time record?
Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Now Myers for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. That's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to them right away because they have the matchup advantage. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From midfield, here's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Elsewhere, 4th quarter score now for Baltimore. And the Colts have scored again to widen their lead even further. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. So quick on the spin.
Oh, he's spinning, man.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Looking to throw. Atkins throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. They'll get 32 yards there. And it'll give the Vikings a 1st down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification.